So in this video I was planning to do the stained glass windows, but I'm going to actually kind of change my mind in the fact that not every window was a stained glass window, even though I'd like to think it was because I like how beautiful they are. But I'm going to change, and I'm just going to do a couple different stained glass windows, and the rest of these I'm going to paint gray, just like we have been doing. Of course, I'm going to make them a little lighter because I think my other ones when I did it was just a little too dark, but that's alright. We're going to make it and just fill these in so they're gray. I'm using the same kind of gray that I used in the last video, and stained glass windows were usually on the first floor because that's where you would entertain people and have company over and that sort of thing. It doesn't make sense to have stained glass window up in a bedroom or something where only the people who are sleeping there would see. So I'm gonna do my stained glass windows on the first floor and kind of keep my second story windows. So I'm going to do that one as a stained glass window just for fun. But these other ones I'm going to make gray. There we go, a little better. Alright, it's too dark up there. Pull that darkness out. There we go. If you feel like your windows are too dark, you can always pat them down a little bit, or you can always pull color out with your paintbrush if need be. And here we go. I'm going to start now with the stained glass windows on the first floor. Now, I'm actually going to take these two windows here and make these regular. No, you know what? I'm going to make them stained glass. Even though it's going to be hard, I'm going to make them stained glass. I'm going to kind of make a very light underwash. Here I'm going to take my brush and I'm going to pat out the extra gray so it's not white paper, but it's a little bit on the gray side. And then I'm going to go back with my very fine tipped nylon brush, this one, and do the stained glass windows here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to pull some color out of here, some other colors that maybe I haven't used much yet, that I just kind of want to infuse into my picture, so I've got some interesting color that draws the eye back down to the first floor. So I'm actually going to take some really pure color. I like blue. I do. I hate to admit it, but I love blue. And I'm just going to make sure it's not too thick. Okay, and I'm going to paint the bottom portion of each of these things blue. And just so this one doesn't get too dark, I'm going to blot it up. There we go. I don't want them to be super dark. Okay, I want them to be blue and transparent so the white of the paper can come through. There we go. I'm just going to blot those up. Notice how when I blot, I push down and lift it up so that it doesn't smear the paint. Okay, now I'm going to get some I'll get some red to do the second layer. You can notice I'm just being really detailed, taking my time, but I'm using that pure color so it will stand out very nicely. Okay, blue, red, and how about we do the magenta next? so it matches the house. blot this one so it doesn't get too dark. Good, and then I have that one color left, and I think I'll use this turquoise blue because I really like this turquoise blue color as well. What I think I might do is take this turquoise color and paint it down here. Ooh, I like that. That's nice. And sorry you can't maybe see what I'm doing. I'm just kind of mixing that color right there, trying to get it so it's not too watery but not too painty. It's kind of hard with watercolors. Sometimes you get a little bit too much paint and you don't want it to be so thick. You don't want that watercolor paint to be all thick and gooey. You want it to be light and airy and be really see-through. You don't want it to overpower. Okay, I'm going to continue with this turquoise blue down here on these ones. Continue with my turquoise here. Okay, and then I'm going to take this turquoise and do a zigzag pattern. So obviously for stained glass windows you're going to have to just make up your colors. They're not necessarily going to follow a color scheme, and that's alright. You're not going to be able to necessarily follow a color scheme. And right there you saw that little red piece run into my blue turquoise, which I don't want it to mess up, so I blotted it out real quickly. Okay. And again I'm going to work this part down here. And my trim is dry, so it won't run into my trim. I just have to make sure that it doesn't run into my turquoise of my windows, because they're wet on wet right next to each other. So you have to be really careful. Okay, there we go. Now window's done. I have the other windows here. I'm going to actually go back to my turquoise. For this part. And sometimes when you blot out, it'll give you a little interesting texture. And during class I can zoom this in and show you the different colors that I've got in there and how they look different because I blotted them and they're kind of changed a little bit. Going back here, I want to get my red windows in here. magenta. And I'll save that last blue one for up at the top. And now, since these are so detailed and so small, I'm going to have to let those dry before I do the door. And right there you can see I smushed it over. If you work hard, you can get that out with a little extra water and blotting. There you go. And I'm going to work on this window here because I missed that one. I'm going to take my turquoise and use that turquoise color on the inside. What are these, hexagons? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, yeah, hexagon. Okay, so these I kind of have a look to them. And I'll use that red. You know what, maybe I will use magenta. Can use this magenta here and do the triangles in magenta. And I'm going to blot this little corner right here so that that doesn't run too far over. Well, alright. And last but not least, I forgot right up there where I'm going to do, I'll do them, I guess I'll have to do the magenta up there. There we go. Alright, next video I'll take care of the doors and the roof.